Exciting pictures, hey? And they all have got one thing in common, and that's without engineering, they would not have been possible. So there must be some pretty clever fellas out there to come up with all this technology. Whoa, hang on a minute. Did I just say fellas? Why can't girls be engineers as well? Well, the answer is they can. Of course they can. In fact, in many workplaces, we are regarded as a positive aspect, and quite right too. So we went and spoke to some of the employees of these companies to see why a girl would want a career in engineering. After all, it's a pretty mucky job, isn't it?
The old image of engineering does appear to be outdated, and many parents, I think, do tend to put their children off going into engineering because they think it's still this dirty industry.
Engineering is perceived as, oh, you're going to get dirty, you're going to get oil all over you, but it's not true. There's just so many different job opportunities within engineering than just the hands-on work.
Okay, so maybe it's not dirty after all. Question is, though, how well paid is it?
My final salary when I come out my time will be £27,000 a year, which is a nice sum of money.
There's no discrimination between men and women. Everybody's paid the same. We all get the same opportunities to progress.
A graduate would typically move quite quickly, so they would have increments after 6 months, after 12 months, and then again after 2 years.
A graduate salary is typically 3k above the average graduate salary for an engineer.
The salary seems quite good if I compare to my mates that I've been in the school with, and they really, there's a difference. The salary are much better and it's a secure job.
So it's well paid too, bonus, but you'd probably be stuck in an office or a factory all day, every day.
There are a number of opportunities for employees to work overseas and experience international travel and working.
You get into a company like this and you can see the world, and that's the same for males, it's the same for females, it doesn't matter. I think, you know, if once you're in, the opportunities are boundless or endless, really.
But do you need a degree to get into engineering, or are there other routes?
Well, right now we have an undergraduate program, which we're trying to recruit more women in the undergraduate program so they can get an understanding about manufacturing and engineering. And I'm pleased to say we've had a pretty good take-up.
I started in engineering straight from school. When I left school, I looked at the career options that were available to me, and I was attracted to engineering because it was linked in with science and maths, things that I enjoyed at school, and I also saw opportunities that apprenticeships could offer to me.
It's a fantastic opportunity for people to come in on the graduate scheme because they come into an organisation and they go around the whole organisation, and those graduates that are currently going through the programme at the moment, when you can see the delight on their faces that they're involved in this process.
From the very beginning, I started off with a 2-year degree in math, physics and chemistry. Then I went over to a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering.
Not bad. But it is a male-dominated environment, and it could be a little bit intimidating working with all those guys.
The numbers are quite few as far as women going into engineering are concerned, but they don't have to be. They can be much higher because women are actually just as good at maths and science than men. They actually tend to think that they're not, but we really are. We can do it just as well. We can think about the problems in different ways.
I have to say I've never had any problems. You know, I've always been treated like everyone else. You're here to do a job. You know, I've never had anybody, you know, treat me specially because I'm a girl. It's brilliant. I've had the best time ever working here.
I get along great with the men, and they're so relaxed, they don't treat you any differently. Everyone gets treated the same, and I suppose there's always someone there to open the door for you, really, if you need the door opening, because there's plenty of males around.
I've never had any problems with being a girl in the male environment. They've all treated me exactly the same as any of the other male apprentices.
Yeah, but I bet the guys have better prospects. I bet they get promoted first.
Working as a woman in engineering, there's a lot of opportunities, but just the same as what everyone else would get.
I can't think of a job that a lady couldn't do in this plant, whether it be in production or engineering.
It's completely independent of gender. So engineering is engineering. It doesn't matter who you are, what gender you are, a job of engineering needs to be done.
So I guess some of the projects that engineers work on can be pretty stimulating. I mean, there are very few jobs that rely on flair for design and creativity to such a great extent.
The fact that you're working on aircraft is a really exciting part to the job, because you know, if you see it fly off in some places, you will get to see the aircraft that you've worked on get to fly, and it's, you know, it makes you feel like you've really put something into it. So it's a lot more exciting than just another job, I think.
We're always developing new products, new processes. It's a very interesting job, career development, you can move on, there's always progression and never stand still.
I think engineering is an exciting industry to get into because it's always developing and it's always challenging and changing, especially now with UAV technology. There's a lot of ways for us to go.
Do you know, I don't remember anyone at school suggesting to me or my parents that I should consider a career in engineering. So how did you find out more information?
My dad had suggested that engineering might be a good career path for me because I'm not completely academically minded. I'm better at the kind of practical side of things. So I went to go and see my connections advisor. And I talked to her about what I wanted to do. I said I was interested in kind of the science side. She suggested maybe being a vet. And I said, well, do you not have anything in like pyrotechnics or engineering? And she looked up a couple of different placements and she found BAE and she said, well, why don't you try applying for this?
When I was in sixth form, the head of sixth form suggested to me that I went to Salford University to have a look at different sorts of engineering. And I quite liked the idea of engineering, but I wasn't really keen on the university idea to it. And then I found the apprenticeship with AstraZeneca.
A career that has everything. So what would girls in engineering say to someone considering taking it up?
Go for engineering, it's a great life, it's given me a great one.
Any girls considering going into the engineering business really should, because it's a fascinating business with loads of opportunities and girls can do it too.
So there you have it. It seems that engineering really is a career for girls. If you like sciences and fancy working in a positive, creative and exciting environment, then engineering could be the career for you. Maybe you love a challenge and like to think outside of the box. Remember, girls can do it too.